Hey, Paul. With the president being incredibly difficult to get a hold of, and there are other items that I've been trying to get a meeting with her on as well, and it's been tough. I thought I would just send over this video. I think it'll do a nice job of explaining it. Once you've had a chance to look at it and digest it, if you've got additional questions or something like that, um, happy to help however we can. So to start off with, I think one of your questions was, who manages this whole thing, and it's twofold. And I'll start by saying that, here, this is the Benaiah Co site. Benaiah Co is our holding company. And underneath the holding company, we have different verticals. One of the verticals is Benaiah Capital, but another vertical is Benaiah Custody Solutions. And what we do at Benaiah Custody Solutions is we broker the qualified custodian relationship, and we set up everything on the back end for our clients. One of the reasons that that's important and valuable is that it's incredibly expensive to get a contract with one of these qualified custodians, to the tune of $6, $7, $8,000 minimum per month. And not everybody has $100 million of crypto either. And so what we do is we have FBO accounts, for benefit of accounts. And what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll set up accounts on the back end. So we'll sit down with the client and find out what their needs are. And each qualified custodian has a little bit different niche. Some of them might be staking, some might be NFTs, others might be trading. So depending on what the client wants to do, we then point them in the right direction. And then not only that, but we're going to build everything on the back end. So there's going to be a quorum that says, whatever assets to be withdrawn, this person and this person have to both agree. Things like that. And then on top of the whole thing, instead of the clients paying $7,000 or $8,000 a month, whatever the minimum is, all of our clients get to split that cost amongst themselves. And so not only do we do all the work and point them in the right direction, but then we also save them quite a bit of money. So Benaiah Custody Solutions administers this lending arrangement, and we do it through BitGo. So there's two primary qualified custodians that we use. BitGo is one of them, and the other one is Anchorage. Anchorage Digital is the only federally chartered OCC crypto bank in the country. They're also a qualified custodian. So BitGo and Anchorage are two of the three largest crypto qualified custodians. The other one that would make up that three is Coinbase. Coinbase has a separate arm for institutions that they charge a minimum of $100,000 a year to have an account with them, and you got to have, I think, $100 million maybe of crypto assets to have an account with them. So as far as safety, security, insurance, these are the best of the best systems. Okay, so what is our role then? Where we start is with the value of the loan. All right, so in any one of our loans in our portfolio, we'll start there. In your particular case, there's $8 million. And so we need to know what the collateral requirement is going to be, what they're going to have to put in the custody vault that we're managing. And so we take 140% then of the value of the loan, which is $11,200,000. And we divide that by whatever the asset price is at the time of the loan. Let's assume that it was $60,000. That's going to give us 186 and 2/3 Bitcoin that are going to have to be in collateral to launch that loan. Okay, so the next two things that we have to figure out are the asset price, assuming there's no more collateral put in and there's none taken out. What is the asset price going to be when there's a margin call at 125% and a liquidation at 110%? So the first one we start with is the margin call. And so what we do is we say, okay, at 125%, that's when the client is going to get a notification that they've got to put in more collateral because their collateral is getting low. And so what we have to do is figure out at what price is that notification going to get automatically sent out. So we just do the math on that, and we take 125% of the value of the loan, which puts us at $10 million. And we're going to subtract 10 million from 11,200,000 and divide that by 11,200,000. And when we do that, what we get is it's a 10%, a little over a 10% decrease in asset price is going to put us at that value. So then what we do is we take 1 and we subtract that 0.107, and we're going to get 0.89285. So what that tells us then is that, I'll highlight these for you. What that tells us then is that at just about 90%, 89% of the asset price is when that margin call is going to happen. Okay, so we take 0.892857143, multiply it by our original asset price of 60,000, and we're going to come up with $53,571.43. So I guess we do the math to check out on that on the back end. So if you take 53,571.43 multiplied by your quantity, you'll also get the 10 million. So if Bitcoin should ever go down and hit 53,571.43, there's going to be an automatic notification that gets sent out, and I'll share that with you in just a little bit. And then the third thing that we have to do, a very similar process, is figure out what the liquidation price is going to be. So we say what's 110% of the loan value. That's 8.8 million. So at 8.8 million, that collateral is going to get liquidated. And so we go about the process the same way. We subtract that and then divide it. And when we do that, we get 0.214 and change. We subtract that from 1, and we get 0.785714. We multiply that number by the asset price then, and we come up with our liquidation price of $47,142.86. Right. So if the collateral was at the quantity was right at 186 2/3, and they ignored the margin call, and the asset price slid right through that, once it hits $47,142.86, the assets get liquidated. And I'll show you how we do that as well. Both of these are very simple and straightforward. One is just a notification. So there's an alert essentially that goes out, and so we're able to create that. The liquidation of the asset actually acts just like a stop loss, if you will. So if you were trading and you didn't want your assets to go any lower in value, you could put a stop loss at a certain amount. Well, that's what we do, is we'll put that stop loss at 47,142.86. And if they update their collateral after the margin call, we'll recalculate these. If they don't, then that stop loss stays in there. So that's how that system works, and I'll show that to you here in just 1 second. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how the margin call alerts go out. So we hop on the site, and we go ahead and we enter in a notification. And so this alert on Bitcoin is going to pop up, and we fill in the missing information here. So the condition is the price, and it's going to be crossing down, and it's going to be the value. And I went ahead and put the margin call price in there. And it's going to be every time until we change it. We will set this out as far as we can go. Open-ended. And the alert name, Better Days Loan Margin Call. And then the message that we'll put in there, be a margin call notice for Better Days Loan. Your collateral has reached a dangerous level. Please be advised that if you do not top off your collateral, your assets will liquidate at 47,142. Please send 22.4 Bitcoin to the whitelisted collateral address right away. So whenever we get collateral in for the first time, clients have to go through a process whereby their address or their wallet is linked up with ours, so that they can do one-click submissions. So if there was a margin call, or if they were facing a liquidation, the process for them to move additional assets into the wallet with just one click, instead of having to go through a whole system or a whole process, is really valuable. So we do that on the front end. So all they have to do is go into their wallet, click where they want it to send, and the number of Bitcoin, and they're done. It's a pretty simple process. And then we go into notifications, and we're going to notify in the mobile app. They're going to get an email. Some of them have webhooks, whereby they have it automatically set up to just pull assets in whenever they get a notification like this. But we'll do a sound and then they'll also get a plain text as well. And then we'll save this. I'm not going to, but then we'll save this. And then what happens is when the asset price comes down and it goes below that amount, they're going to get those notifications automatically sent to them. So that is how the margin call system works. And next, I will go through with you the ever so important liquidation. All right, and now the ever so important liquidation process. What we'll do on this is just a demo account. So we won't actually set it up as we normally would, but I'll try to set it up so that you can actually see what happens in the liquidation process. So we've identified the liquidation price at 47,142.86. So normally what we would do is set up a stop loss at 47,142.86. So as the market comes down, if it crosses or hits that level, it's a market sell. So it doesn't have to sell at that price. It's actually going to sell for the best price available, but it's going to liquidate it all within a second. So it's obviously not what the client wants, but we have it set up at 110%. So even if it does go a little bit below that, because it's a market sell of 187 Bitcoin, even if it does go below that a little ways, we've got plenty of cushion to make sure that we've got the collateral needed. So in this account over here, I'll kind of demonstrate how this is going to work. Here's the stop loss right here that we're going to put in. I'm going to put it in at 60. I'm going to put it in for 6,200. Maybe we'll get back there. And you'll see that we've got the stop loss set up. It's almost sitting right on top of it. And so I don't know if you saw that or not, but so as soon as it dropped below that, it actually sold at 60,200. So it just automatically triggers that as soon as the market hits that point. So that's kind of how that process works. So as far as the custody goes, it's with two of the safest custodians. Well, I mean, it's with one of them, but we work with two of the safest custodians in the world. They're both qualified custodians, meaning they're regulated like banks. They are bankruptcy remote, and neither one of them has ever had a breach. That being said, if something should happen, they both have $250 million worth of insurance per claim. So they're well insured on that side as well. And then the mechanics of this, are not that challenging to do at all. So that's one of the things that our team does. Our team also works with a lot of the trusts in South Dakota and the division of banking here in the state. In fact, we kind of put this program together to allow some of these trusts to be able to have crypto inside of their trusts. So anyway, that's another story. Hopefully that helped answer your question. If there's more that I can help with, please let me know. Thanks, Paul.